Hi there, racing fans, and welcome to another edition of Winning Ways, where Lef and I will keep you up to date. And we've had a hell of a week, haven't we?
Yeah, it's always a good week, and interesting to see Michael de Coxon has sent horses all over the world. It's very good that we get to follow them and get to see these races, and no luck for him.
Well, we'll talk about them later. I think we got them later in the show, but very, very disappointing it was. But, we got lots to chat about. We're going to talk about the Equus Awards in your call. Run through the Equus Awards because they're worth talking about. The champions of each category need to be put out there, and
people should be aware who's doing it. And well done to all of them. Everyone who won one, well done.
Right, let's go and have a look at our three to follow. Right, let's go to the first one of our three to follow, and we're going to Turfentine. They stepped out a couple of nice young horses there, and the first one we picked up was the Pieman, trained by Paul Peter, and this ran a very good race.
Yeah, this is a Magog from the Scott brothers, and the word was out this could get along. It had to beat Striker Stratum, I think it was Malachite or something like that, the grey horse on the outside. After a slightly sluggish start, James, it gets up there and it looks like it's got a lot of ability and looks like it's going to win.
Certainly in the picture, it's got the white cap and Stratum's tracking. It's got the white cap with the sheepskin noseband on the right-hand side of your screen, and Stratum's on the grey. And you watch Stratum. Stratum's just brilliant. It's absolutely different class. The Pieman goes to win, and I think this horse Malachite might not have won except for Stratum.
Yeah, it's a very good ride. He's kept it cuddled up in behind. The Pieman has been set sail for home. Looks a likely winner, running away from the grandstand. And just here you think, well, it's going to keep running. It's got 150 metres to go. Now he lugs out. He's very, very green, the Pieman. And Stratum's keeping his horse really to his task. And the grey quickens away to win by about a length in the end. But the Pieman, who was supported, is well clear of the rest.
Yeah, absolutely had them stone cold, and you'd think that the son of Magog will go on to win some races. He certainly looks like a nice horse. We went to the next race at Turfentine, and we found Fulcrum from the Wyoming stable. This looks like a nice horse as well.
Yeah, this horse had also found support. James, have a look at the draw it's got here. There's certainly not in its favour. Fulcrum, and he's a Captain-L that the Engelbrechts bred this horse. And I thought he had a few horses to beat. I thought it looked a tough task. And you can see, James, he's very, very green. He's still the widest of all. And he hasn't much idea of what's going on as this Fulcrum. So at this stage, he's joint last, and he's 3 deep on quite a dusty track. And the fancied runners have got on their bikes, and they've got into a position to win. But he is now last, James.
Yeah, and certainly Wesley Moorwing's got no option but to sit where he is. Waishong's son is cruising along at the back of the field, but watch this horse in the straight.
Yeah, I thought that this Pierre Stratum would probably win this race with First Sugar, and he gives it a very good ride. And just at a critical stage in the race, Stratum comes to win it on First Sugar, but have a look at this horse Fulcrum, where he comes from, and he nearly gets up to win it. He's now still wide and lost.
And getting shoved along. He's got the black cap right on the right-hand side of your picture, sheepskin noseband. And there's no way this horse is going to run close. In the middle of winter, you've got absolutely no chance, even on the outside track, of getting to these horses in front. But this looks like a very nice horse. As you say, Captain-L,
French
out of
Lover,
Badgerland, man, he'll go all day.
French Lover shot cleared 100 to 1. This chase was on show, and everyone thought, well, this rough, he's going to win. Then Gav Lorena started moving up on Fighting Force and St. John's colours, and down his inside is your winner. But suddenly, here comes Fulcrum.
A really nice actioned horse, big striding horse, gets going really late, and for all money might easily have won if he'd been in a little bit of a better position turning for home. But
no doubt, must
really
follow Fulcrum.
Run. Yeah. And the next one, I'm sorry you had to pull this one out. This was a bit irksome to me, I can tell you, and because we thought that our filly could win. She's plagued by unsoundness. We bought her with knee chips. But
how do you pronounce your horse's name, James?
Exactly.
Where does that come from?
It comes from a very, very famous joke about Exactly. Yeah, okay. About the Chinese doctor. Do
you want to go there?
No, I don't think we should go there. But the Chinese doctor, he was the expert in helping women get dates.
Exactly.
And exactly comes exactly from there. But she was named Highway 85, but she comes from the E family, you know, and they're all, every single one of the fillies in the family has got E in its name. We couldn't have Highway 85, so we changed its name to Exactary.
Exactly.
And
James' second run, a big improvement.
yeah, I thought that she could win. You know, she's not going to have a long life racing because of her knees, and I was hoping we'd be able to burgle this one. When I looked at the field, I thought we were spot on, except for Dennis Dryers, and you picked it up at
Eventual Angel. Have a look at this. This is the debut of Dennis Dryers' horse, and it's a right approach. And watch where how this horse wins.
It won a fantastic race because it fell out the stalls here. Exacary's got the Graham Hawkins green and white colours, 5 off the left-hand side of your thing, and Eventual Angel's behind in the yellow and red. She is absolutely stone last at this stage. We're cruising along 4 off the right-hand side, right in the middle of the track.
Leading.
Yeah, leading and looking like we're going to win, and win pretty comfortably. And this Eventual Angel's about 5 behind. And there wasn't support for her either, which, you know, was surprising. I said, now she's lost.
And she's moving, or second last now. She's moving through in the hands. Cormac keeping her beautifully balanced. Yeah. Just when you think, James, you've got the candy, you're starting to walk down the stairs, this filly appears.
I had one last glance, and what I saw didn't please me, I must tell you. It just absolutely wandered past us. And the time was pretty quick, 58 and some change, you know. You expect to be able to win these type of races. There's nothing fancied in the race, but I think this is probably a very, very good filly. She won with authority, and Darren Marks, the part owner, said to me afterwards, because I said how disappointed we were, and he said, you know, early on they thought this was their best baby. Colin Lee, who does the breaking in and that for them, said this is a star, but she lost her way a bit. But obviously, when they can run, they can run.
That happens.
So she's worth following.
Yeah, this is Mouton's Hook's bred, this horse, Eventual Angel, and by right approach. Follow this one.
Right, and we're going to move on from there and go and have a look at a Blast from the Past, where this week we have got Millreef, and this is really worth watching here. Champion in action. As we say, we're going back to Blast from the Past. We're getting out some old races, which should bring back good memories from you. We've had good feedback about Arkle. Lots of people enjoyed watching Arkle last week.
I like watching those old champions. And Millreef, you know, he was Brigadier Gerard, My Swallow. It was a wonderful era.
Yeah, and he broke his leg. He ended up breaking his leg and going to stud, and he was a success at stud too. It was a very good stallion. Certainly a broodmare. Let's go and pick up Millreef.
Millreef looks ready, but Jeff isn't quite as sound. His right arm has been paralyzed for a time by a violent fall.
No, I was a pretty well 100%, but then I just come back from my accident and I had 7/8 of my grip.
Following the line that Pegasus began, watched by the seasons, gentle caressing hand, see the stars shine, sparkle in your eyes, wind flowing through your mane, sweeping through the sky, so free and easy.
Linden Tree in the lead from Lombardo and Homeric, and then comes Millreef in 4th place. Athens Wood making a little bit of progress towards the outside. And just inside the 2 furlong marker now, and it's Linden Tree in the lead from Lombardo. Millreef is 3rd, Homeric 4. Then comes Irish Ball, still making good progress. Linden Tree from Lombardo. And Jeff Lewis switching his whip hand there on Millreef, and Millreef coming to join Linden Tree. And these two, very little between them now. Linden Tree on the far side, Millreef in the sheepskin noseband, Lombardo hanging on, an Irish Ball coming home very fast too. But it's Millreef who's taken that advantage now inside the final furlong from Linden Tree. Irish Ball still finishing fast, but Millreef going away from Linden Tree, and then Irish Ball, and Millreef's going to win the Derby. At the line, Millreef is the winner, Linden Tree is 2nd, and Irish Ball 3rd.
This day will always be something on its own, an island of pleasure in the memory.
Well, there you go, Mill Reef. What a racehorse! Ian Balding at his prime.
Young Ian Balding,
Yeah.
Ian Balding, eh?
In
Sure.
his prime, Ian Balding.
You're saying Pentland First might have placed there?
I think he might have run fourth. I know he certainly ran fourth in one of the derbies, and might have been fourth in that derby. He ended up coming out here. But, you know, it just, you look at the excitement that racing has generated over the years and over the generations and whatever, and the derby never changes. Investec has now made it into a real event.
Yeah.
But you look back then, it was just people everywhere. The infield is full of people, and some great, great horses have won it.
James, my house is just around the corner from there. And
Yeah.
the people have these derby parties. Everyone says, what do you do? No, we're having a derby party. You're coming around. So everyone, even houses around there, it's just derby parties. It's absolutely fabulous, and people don't want to miss. And so people get there, the gypsies, everybody comes into town.
The gypsies are different.
Yeah. They give you a little shrub for a pound. Wish me luck.
It's not a shrub, it's a little thing in a bit of silver paper.
That's
It's
right.
a little bit of, what do I call it? It's
Weed?
the stuff that smells quite, I wish it was weed, we could smoke it. Let's go and have a look at the plum of the week.
Towards the outside of that melon shed, Dolomiti still got about 5 or 6 lengths to make up. 300 to go, Lemonade River hits the front, Coco's on the outside, Jet Set Model, and Dolomiti, she's starting to warm up now, but got to get to Lemonade River is clear. Lemonade River, Dolomiti's now taking off, Jet Set Model runs on, but Dolomiti, another impressive win. Dolomiti won at Jet Set Model, Lemonade River, Fortress Mine.
Well, if you're going to have a bet during the week, you had to follow 3 to follow, because this filly we picked up after her first run as one of the 3 to follow. She started odds against again and won a very impressive race.
Won a very good race. She looks like a very good filly. She's a daughter of Caesar, and they brought her to a racing career late. You know, she's a 4-year-old. She only had the 2 runs. They've both been very good, and she looks like she'll go much further too.
Yeah, I think she'll go right through this filly. She's very good. And 7 to 4 in old terms. Do you remember 7 to 4?
7 to 4.
Not 7 to 4.
Well, she
anymore.
started 5 to 4.
Yeah, she started 5 to 4, but you could have got 7 to 4 in buckets and Interbet. That's the place you've got to go and get the 7 to 4. And great to have them around. And that Johnny, he's so helpful, you know.
He works hard, that guy.
Yeah, yes, he's hard.
He works hard. He's
That's
done a
unbelievable.
wonderful job. He works very hard. Yeah.
And he's looked after us like stars. Interbet. You want to go and get a betting account? Go to Interbet. Let's move on and have a look at current affairs.
Right, welcome back. This week's edition of Current Affairs, right around the country. No group races to note, but as we said earlier, James and I alluded to the fact that Michael de Kock is travelling his horses all around the world. And James, he had 2 serious runners.
It must have been so disappointing for him. He must have bitten his pillow all the way to bed on Saturday night.
He's not a pillow biter.
You know,
He takes those results.
well, for us it was disappointing because really they both could have won. I think
Yes.
you know a little bit. I don't want to crib jockeys, but I think that Hannigan went far too slowly on soft falling rain, which
It
we'll
was a
see.
Canton
But
sprint.
at Christoph, who I love dearly, he's a great guy and a great guy to have riding your horses. But if he changes stick, different result, and I think the horse wins still.
I think the best horse won the race. And, but you know, by looking at the rules, James, what's interesting there, in America they say disqualified.
Yeah.
It's got a completely different meaning if you look at Europe and England.
Yeah, disqualified's placed last, but they mean that they change the result. You end up running second. Look, a great run. You go to Group 1s in America and with a South African bred horse. And we had 2 South African breds running Group 1, England and America, and they ran second.
And I heard the commentator say the European bred,
Yeah.
the Apache's gone over to Arlington Million now. Didn't Michael run second in this race one day as well?
Yeah, he
with
did.
Kevin
He
Shea?
ran second with Archie Penka.
Correct, the King Mamba horse.
Yeah,
Archie Penka ran second in this race.
I think that Johnny Murder did KB Shea.
Yeah.
You remember? I think that
Yeah,
was
he kept him tight.
Yeah, that was the problem there. They never got out. But let's go and have a look at it.
We
I
just
think
need a little bit of luck here, and it would have been a wonderful day for the South African breds. And this is a McGock, Apache's of McGock, was
Yeah.
the Scott brothers.
Scott Brothers.
Scott Brothers,
Fantastic.
wonderful advert for the Scott Brothers and for the stallion McGock. Let's go and have a look and listen to the American commentator at the Arlington Million.
To the back of the course, his quarter was 24-1. Guest of honor in the cheek pieces, a bit ranked there, and outside that is Indy Point. Indy Point in the back half of the field for Gary Stevens. Then Finnegan's Wake. Granger is running second to last, and Temerain is 13th. Half mile for Little Mike, 48 4/5 seconds. Little Mike charts the course. Mull of Kalak now injecting more pace into Little Mike, so they're heads apart. And just off them is Rahi Strada. Side glance is a close fourth now, as these leaders come to the half-mile pole, where Mull of Kalak has taken the lead from Little Mike. Just in back of them, Rahi Strada side glance. The Apache is fifth and 5 lengths off the pace. Nate's Mineshaft is next. Hunters like Guest of Honor. Real Solution being asked to pick up. Finnegan's Wake also comes under ride. Temerain is 11th. Then comes Granger, and Indy Point is wide and 13th as they come toward the top of the stretch, where Little Mike is back in front. Little Mike, Mull of Kalak now being hard ridden. Rahi Strada right there, side glance. Hunter's Light is just in back of the front. On the far outside, Guest of Honor. They're homeward bound in the million, and here comes the Apache now to take the lead from Little Mike with a furlong to go. Real Solution is staying on past the 16th. Real Solution charging at the Apache. Real Solution, the Apache in a battle that's come down to a bob, and the Apache found just a bit more than Real Solution. Alan Garcia, the rider of the one Real Solution, the unofficial second place horse. Alan Garcia on the one Real Solution has claimed foul against Christoph Sumion, the unofficial million winner, the 10, the Apache. Jockey's claim of foul in the stretch run.
James, I think he does drift onto the eventual winner. And I agree with you, maybe a change of stick, because he fought on when the other horse grabbed him.
Oh yeah, there was no way he looked like he was going to get beaten. The other horse moved up really well to him. But I thought Simeon rode a brilliant race in getting him round them out from a position where he might have got boxed, got them out, hit the front at the right time. But just, if the stick had been in the right rather than the left, I don't believe this horse would have run off the rail, and he would have fought. He fought right to the death. It just shows what a great racehorse he is and how courageous he is, this horse, you know. He's
campaigned successfully all over the place now. Now, will he go back to England, I presume?
Yeah, I'm sure he'll go back to England. He wanted to go to Turkey, as you know, and the Turkish officials, and there's going to be a stink about this. The Turkish officials didn't allow him to go because apparently he had a horse sickness injection in his passport. Well, every horse that's come out of South Africa has got a horse sickness injection, so now they're stopping us going there. Well, I think we should be taking pecuniary action against them. You know, we televise their races here. We have agreements with them in place so that they can make money out of us. Satelliting their races and betting on their races. It's just not right. The whole thing is wrong. And as Mike quite rightly says, Mercer went over there and won, and now it looks like they don't want our horses to go because they might be too good for them. You know?
Yeah, the South African horses are really, really doing well. We've seen them all over the place, whether it be Shay Shay, the Apache, Soft Falling Rain. And that's the horse we're going to be looking at next, because this was the comeback run. And like so many of these horses who've won 7 in a row, the stumbling block turned out to be the 8th. Dawn Approach, there's a good few horses who've stumbled on that 8th win. And the race itself is run at a pace that is very, very sedentary.
I think that's probably what beat him. And let's go and pick up the race, and then we can talk about it afterwards. But another South African bred holding his head high in Europe.
Just in front from Tarwood on the outside. They're being tracked now by Librano, Casper Netcher on the outside, the yellow cap, and in touch too and going nicely enough is Gregorian. In fact, they're all travelling pretty well within themselves as the pace begins to lift and as they approach the final 2.5 furlongs. Out in front, Soft Falling Rain defending his unbeaten record for Paul Hannigan. Tarwood on the outside, a danger though for Johnny Murtagh, going nicely. Casper Netcher being wound up for a charge now by Shane Kelly and pulled round the outside near side. Gregorian on the stands rail. is beginning to pick up. Soft Falling Rain's got a battle on here to maintain the unbeaten record. Gregorian finishing off well on the near side from Soft Falling Rain and Tarwid. Casper Netcher is beaten. It's Gregorian in front inside the final half furlong. Gregorian driven out to the line for Rob Havlin, will win the Hungerford for John Gosden. Gregorian won it. Soft Falling Rain loses unbeaten record, but was a good second. Tarwid third, Casper Netcher.
There we go. But again, initially we didn't get to see it that much there. The Crawl.
Well, the horse that won it is not a bad racehorse, Gregorian. He's been placed in 3 Group 1s this season. He's a Group 2 winner. He's a very, very good horse indeed. And you would like to think that Soft Falling Rain's place in the sun will come. We're going to take a break. We'll be back after this race.
Right, welcome back. When we went to that break, we were just discussing the Hungerford Stakes, and James, just before we put it out, it's got to be a race that'll bring the horse on.
Absolutely, and the point is we've got this weekend we're looking forward to. We've got Shay Shay running in the Nunthorpe at York, and
Frankie.
Yeah, I think he'll win it. I think he'll win the Nunthorpe, and I think 1,000 meters on that type of ground, on the type of turf that he's going to find in England, is almost like a 6 furlong in South Africa. To me, his best distance. I think it will take a good one to beat him.
Yeah, James, what other news has come up in current affairs?
Well, a couple of things. Interesting, in France, they had the Prix Mornay. Now, I don't think that an American trainer has, certainly as a modern American trainer, has ever won a Group 1 in Europe. And this guy, Wesley Ward, went to England and won a couple of juvenile races with some fast juveniles from America.
Who's the one who won on Royal Ascot Day? Was that Wesley Ward?
Wesley Ward, yeah.
That's a fine
him. He's fantastic with these young horses. And he took this horse that's owned by the Coolmore bunch, funnily enough. It's by Scat Daddy, and proper American bred, and won the Prix Mornay at Deauville, which is...
Did it beat some good ones?
Unbelievable. Beat a couple of really good horses, and just a very, very good win from that one. But abroad as well, just quickly, something that I picked up off the news was Russell Bays, who's a jockey in America, has broken every record there is to break. 50,000 rides he had, his 50,000th ride.
How old is he? Any idea?
54 at Golden Gate, and he rode in Southern California for a bit, but he said that he just wasn't as good as, the Gary Stevenses and those type of guys, Pink Eye and Velasquez and all those Southern California boys. He held his own. He was always in the top 5 or 6.
Yeah, good rider. He was there when I was there.
But he decided to go back to Northern California, and he rides mainly at Golden Gate. And there's a very, very interesting article about his agent, how his agent looks after him, how he gets offered the rides, how the agent has to play bad cop and he's playing good cop, One trainer wants him on a horse, he accepts the ride on that horse, and then a better ride comes up and they're trying to find the best rides. The amazing man, Russell Bays, and he's...
So James, what's his percentage?
He's running at a 24% winners to ride.
On 50,000
lifetime, 24% is about the best percentage of any jockey anywhere in the world.
And that's over 50,000 rides. That's amazing, James.
So
amazing.
He's ridden something like 12,500 winners. He just... absolutely amazing. He's passed everyone's record. He broke Lafayette Pincé's record, and it's an amazing thing. If you go on to Russell Bays, I found it on African Betting Club, funny enough. One of the guys posted it there, and I thought it was very interesting. Getting back to South Africa, we had the big sale over the weekend, last Thursday, Friday, and the golf day.
Yeah, how was the golf day? Was the Black Knight there?
The Black Knight was there in force, showing us what to do. He didn't ask us to hit him, so maybe not quite as strong as he is softening up, but I can tell you he still hits the ball like God.
He's still a fantastic player, James.
Strikes the ball absolutely beautifully. You can just see when he puts that club on the ball, he knows exactly what he's doing.
And was it a lot of fun?
It was great fun, and they did an auction. Sean Terry bought a beautiful collage, I might call it, a montage of Gary Player winning the four big ones, the Open, the Masters, the British Open, and the PGA. And he bought it on one bid, 20 grand. It went all to the National Horse Trust, National Horse Care Unit, and It was a very, very nice day, well organised, and the sale was by.
Yeah, there was a horse went for $1 million, a Silvana.
Oh yeah, there were some nice horses.
There's some
on
nice
the sale.
horses there,
Yeah.
and I believe the average is up and the median.
Average is up at close to 90 grand. Things are firing, you know.
Yeah, so well done to Bloodstock South Africa. That's a great success that they managed to push the first 2-year-old sale of the year out there.
Yeah, and the next one that we got coming in from them is the Ready to Run. That's the big sale that will be coming up in November. The Ready to Run. That's always a sale. You know, everyone wants to get involved with.
Yeah,
2.5 million rand Ready to Run race.
Strong sale. And James, one other thing, the thing you showed me about Oliver Brady and his Sligo success, that was amazing.
Well, if you want to go on the YouTube and go and have a look at a guy celebrating after winning a race, go and look at Oliver Brady celebrating in Ireland.
Sligo's success.
Sligo's success. And this guy goes on for 10 minutes having a full go at everyone. You know,
Fantastic.
Absolute full go.
Oliver Brady. If
Yeah.
he coached Cork, they'd have won 2 world championships. That's how good he is.
There were a couple of other things on the website. So there's been this big sale in Europe, in France, Deauville.
Volcano,
They're
yeah.
paying $1.5 million for Tobawi filly, and James Heron Bloodstock, Galileo filly got R1 million. You know.
$1 million?
Yeah, $1 million. Caroline Thomas won the Giants Causeway, won the Lake Placid. There's Warfront is a sire that's really making a name for himself. Yeah, there's some good things going on all over the world, and really very much fun.
Well, that's good that the people are buying horses, and well done to everyone who's managed to sell one and make a couple of quid out of it. I don't think we've got anything else before we go to your call.
I think let's go to your call, and we're going to have to break for a race during your call and see how we go from there. Let's go and look at the ARCSA Awards, the Equine Champions.
Second position, but Military Roses giving them a bath. That's one of the biggest millions I've ever seen. Grace Valana, the leader. Grace Valana. Grace Valana.
Okay, we're going to have a look at the Equus Awards, and they were a real success.
Wonderful for the different people. I watched part of it with Graham and Clyde Basil emceeing it, and some good awards. The balance seems to have swung. A lot of different people winning, younger trainers coming through, which augurs well, James.
Yeah, on top of that, the first award, I think that here's a man who deserved to win an award, is John Jones. I think he is a huge player in KwaZulu-Natal, and he's a guy that I think deserves the recognition. I'm very pleased for him.
Yeah, John and Carmen, they come to races, they watch their horses, they support the rights are producing the goods for them. And they were the winner of the 2-year-old award. The champion 2-year-old colt goes to Kochka, and let's have a look at Kochka.
Of the course, right there, Gone Baby Gone, Forest Panther, Heart of a Lion's down the centre now, starting to unwind, Sagittator, Kochka gets going hard up towards the inside, Forest Indigo tries to come forward, Heart of a Lion, Forest Indigo looks full of fire on the stand side, Kochka's erupting through at the rail, Forest Indigo, but Kochka's coming with long lengthy strides, Kochka got revenge on Forest Indigo, Willow Magic Gio in an absolutely thrilling finish. They used up the entire course.
Well, the son of Blackman Lelouch, you know, it was tough because the other horse, Forest Indigo, also owned by a charming man, Chris Gerber, you know, and
could have gone either way. It was very tight.
Yeah, I think there was a short head on July Day, and then you know, Gold Cup Day.
Forest Indigo, part of Judpod's great success, and we'll get to touch on Judpod a little bit later. But well done to John and Carmen, well done to the Wrights, well done to everyone with this Black Manaloo. She's a very good horse, and it augurs well for him for the season to come. The fillies version now, and this went to Along Came Polly, James, and nice to see a new owner. Brian Bernard, new man in the game.
Now, apparently he bought this after a run first time. It ran second first time.
What happened was, James, that race there was a complete hash of the starting. And remember, they abandoned the race meeting after their meeting. Do you remember?
My Sanctuary.
Yes, My Sanctuary. This was My Sanctuary stablemate that day. And it ran second. And from there, I believe, was purchased. I have no idea of figures. If I'm not mistaken, Ian van Skalkwyk owned it.
You're correct, he did.
Yes, and it was bought by Brian Bernard and his family. And it won this race and won the award, breaking its maiden.
Yeah, because it ran second on July Day in the big two-year-old race. Fillies
second
race
at Scottsville in the Group 1.
And one wonders, how good the fillies are. Because if a maiden can come and win a race like this and win the award.
James, let me qualify that. There were features. Feature race, Group 1, Group 1, Group 1. Those were its runs. It didn't go, a normal maiden would have won a street, any day, but it went into features every single run, and they had faith in this horse, and it's paid off.
I think it's absolutely fantastic. I'm not detracting from it in any way whatsoever. I'm just saying I wonder how good the fillies are, okay? Because normally when you find a horse that wins a champion award, it beats the rest, and it beats them easily. And I think that the two-year-old colts and fillies, there's very little between a lot of them. And
let's go and have a look at this race, James, because there were some good horses in the first 5, 6 horses here. Let's have a look.
Quest now looks to stretch at the top of the lane. Along Came Polly. Alaskan Maiden's got a dream run up the inside, and look at For the Lads starting to come forward. For the Lads is now coming at Along Came Polly. Along Came Polly had first run on them. Athena. Alaskan Maiden's along the inside. Admiral's Eye gets going. It's Along Came Polly though. Today's her time to shine. Along Came Polly. Put her hooves in all the right places. Admiral's Eye in a photo with For the Lads. Athena staying on for minor positions.
I thought Brandon Larena rode a cracking race here. They went no pace into the straight. I know Bass was telling me that he was very unhappy that there was no pace on and that they took time to get going. But he pinched the brake. He read it perfectly and pinched the brake at the right time.
Absolutely.
So, well done to Gavin Finzel, young trainer, the Bernards, young owners, and Brandon Larena, young rider. So, they all did their business. We're going to take a break, and we will be back.
Right, back we go. Now we're moving on to have a look at some of the other Equus Awards. And the next one we're going to look at was the races, the Daily News, the unbeaten Vercingetorix won this, James, and a very good 3-year-old.
Yeah, gone to Dubai, and maybe he'll be carrying the flag for us this time next year. Who knows where he might be, Vercingetorix. He's obviously very good.
Yeah, champion 3-year-old colt. He had some very good horses behind him in the Daily News. He runs a very good race, and he's part of this wonderful year for Silvano.
Yeah.
Let's go and have a look.
Yorkers down the inside second, then Abercrombie. They're followed towards the outside. Vercingetorix, Love Struck, Corridor. Down the inside, Wars tries to run on. Vercingetorix coming home powerfully now. Rock Cocktail on the inside. Vercingetorix hit the front at the 200. Wiley all on the outside. No Worries running on. Cape Town Noir comes home well. Vercingetorix holding on and won it. Cape Town Noir second, or No Worries. And behind that, Wiley Hall, then Rock Cocktail.
Vercingetorix, as you say, Laf, a very good horse, and I think that this horse, we haven't seen close to the best of him. He might end up going on one of those runs that Soft Falling Rain went on.
Yes.
Because he looks like he's going to mature in the next 6 months while he travels the world trying to be able to get to Dubai,
Yeah.
And just on that, they've raised the merit rating 6 points nationally because supposedly our horses were too low merit rated when they got overseas to try and fall into line with world merit ratings. Apparently, this is the story that I got. I chatted to the handicappers, and that's what they told me, and I failed to see how.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who are saying it doesn't work. A lot of people are saying, listen, it will work. I think it's got to be reviewed, got to be looked at and see where it is. You know, it's pushing some of our horses up with the greats of the industry, you know.
Yeah, the point being is that, and I think Soft Falling Rain precipitated this whole thing because he went to Dubai and won off the supposed too low a merit rating and won his races. The point being is, remember, Soft Falling Rain left here in June.
He only ran in 2 year races, am I right?
Yeah, and then runs in July in January or February in Dubai. So he's had like 8 months. His merit rate has remained static. He's matured and improved and grown. All the other horses that race in Europe or whatever race through the season and their merit rating would go up. So that is the reason. But if we could get the horses out in a month, he would have raced through till November or December and then got on the aeroplane and got out of here. And he probably would have been off 110 or 111 or 112. Who knows what he might have been off. But why must the whole thoroughbred industry in South Africa be raised because of a couple of, of horses that go overseas?
I see the merit rating for different races have only gone up 4, I think, and then the horses have gone up 6. So I'm not au fait with exactly with what's going on here, James.
Okay, well,
interesting.
Vercingetorix,
top horse.
Hold his head up high overseas. I think he's very good.
Right, then the champion 3-year-old filly.
Yeah,
Cherry on top. Cherry on the top.
She had to get it.
Yes, her
winning
triple
the tiara, yeah.
Triple tiara was fantastic feat. She beat them all. She beat horses who had gone on to do well. You know, Do You Remember?
Yeah.
Who won the Will Lamington, ran 3rd in the Vodacom Durban July. And let's go have a look at the race we've got to show you. It was a Gauteng Fillies Guineas. Have a look at Cherry on the top.
On the top is getting closer. Do You Remember runs behind those now with 300 to go. Cherry on the top has now come into the lead and she raced away from them with 200 to go. King's Temptress is on the chase further back in the field, but it's Cherry on the top and she shot 3 lengths clear. Do You Remember, King's Temptress, Espumanti between runners in trouble for a place, but Cherry on the top has pulled it off and won the Wochenbosdrift. She won by 2 lengths to Do You Remember, King's Temptress,
Top class. You don't win the triple tiara without being top class. Maybe one dance too far in Durban, but I think she's better than all the other fillies, and she was one of the most deserved winners of the title.
Wonderful daughter of Tiger Ridge. She's gone out there and won it. Wonderful that it was Wilgerbos who put it on and Mrs. Oppenheimer who won it. Well done to Ormond Ferraris as well. He's the trainer of this Tiger Ridge. But let's move on to Champion Aldermale.
Yeah, well, there could be no other horse, Variety Club, and I'm going to be very interested to see how this horse goes amongst the best milers in the world, because he's a proper miler, this horse. He's got speed and he gallops, and he's got the stamina to go the mile, and he's just been too good for every miler in this country.
He's lowered the colours of the Jacksons, the Beach Beauties, a superb racehorse, and let's go and have a look at the Rising Sun Challenge. He stuck his neck down here and said, come and take me on, guys. Here he is, Variety Club.
Early, but the whole of the grandstand is on the shoulders of Variety Club, and he travels great now by 2 lengths, and here goes Variety Club. He kicks away. They're all under pressure. Beach Beauty, Pomodora, Festival of Fire, but it's only Variety Club, and what a champion. He can wear his crown with distinction. He's going to win it again. Back-to-back victories. What of his international career? Variety Club, Beach Beauty, Pomodora, White Line Fever.
Credit to everyone that's involved with him.
Absolutely.
Jay Ramsden, Anton Marcus, Beaumont Stud, Anton Shepherd. They've been in the business forever.
The Eusters, Derek, the whole gang. Well done to all of them. This is a superb racehorse. He's proved it time and again. And James, is he definitely going overseas? That's the talk.
Apparently, he's gone. I'm not sure whether that was the last that I heard, but I really think that he deserves to go overseas. He's too good for this country.
Correct.
And he'd be a horse. I think he'll hold his head up high anywhere in the world. I would love to see him race in America because he's got speed and he runs on. He'd be very, very good in America. He would win the Breeders' Cup Mile, I would think, this horse in a canter.
Okay, let's go and look at the Champion Older filly, and very deserved winner. This is Beach Beauty, not a big daughter of Dynasty, but a great gang of guys own it, and they've had a lot of fun with this horse.
Yeah, very interesting that, 5 years ago, KwaZulu-Natal wouldn't win an award anywhere, never mind, you know, we wouldn't win the Kimberley Championship award. We won the 2 2-year-old awards, and we won this award, and it just shows you that the whole KwaZulu-Natal setup is changing. If you look back over the last 50 years, you'll see a very interesting trend of provinces having a run for 10 or 15 years of being the leading province where they produce the best horses, the best trainers, the best everything come out of them, and then it swings. And it looks like KwaZulu-Natal is on the horizon now.
Well, James, we've got the champion trainer, we've got the champion breeder, we had the champion jockey, it's now moved to Gauteng, but I agree with you, it is moving. But let's have a look at a serious racehorse, and here is Beach Beauty winning the Garden Province Stakes.
Leaves the first one to challenge. Princess Victoria's going through down the inside. Then comes Espiamante. Beach Beauty still got about 4 or 5 to make up. Then Happy Archer. Meanwhile, Louvre has come clear. Leave Espiamante. Beach Beauty now runs on. Louvre the leader. Now Beach Beauty starts to inhale Princess Victoria. But Beach Beauty, once again, she shows her class. And Beach Beauty won it. Second will go to Espiamante, Louvre, and then Princess Victoria.
There we are, the darling of Dennis Dry's yard, and wonderful for all the connections.
Well, we know the story. The story's been read many times. It's a fairy tale, and to win an ARCSA award with this filly is just fantastic. She is the best in her category. Amazing, amazing filly.
Next, champion sprinter, and there were only a couple of nominees to win this, but it's over 1,000 and 1,200 metres, and it's gone to What a Winter, the son of Western Winter, who's now gone to the Stallion Barn. James?
I have no doubt that he deserved to get the Champion Sprinter Award. He is the best sprinter in South Africa, and I think he'll be a success at stud too. Interesting, Argonaut, other Western Winter that's at stud, has been very slow to get going, and he was a champion 2-year-old, which...
Yeah, I think there's 4 Western Winters at studs, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but Argonaut was the one who came in with a bang, and you know, everyone thought that he would make it. He's had 1 winner as a 2-year-old.
Yeah. It's early doors, or early days, whichever one you want.
Early days.
Let's go and have a look at What a Winter. It was a Pinnacle Stakes here in Natal, and I think this was his last win, James.
This was his last win. He got beaten in the Mercury. That was a shock of shocks. But there you go. Even the best get beaten. It's very hard to go with an unbeaten record. Let's pick up What a Winter winning the Pinnacle.
Indigo, then Orbison and Depardieu. They come to the 300-metre marker, and What a Winter. Moroccan is with the yellow cap back in second, then Shades of Indigo. And now Bernard just gives a shake of the bridle, and What a Winter. This is what he needed. He needed a good exercise gallop here, and What a Winter by about 3 lengths. Eased up. Shades of Indigo second, Moroccan, Orbison, then Bravura and Depardieu.
I love this horse. I think he's a great horse. I think he's...
Always a talking horse. Beautiful beast. Marsh Shirtliff, Guy Shirtliff, and I think Bryn Russell, all the boys were involved with this, and the boys and the girls, whoever was involved. Well done to Walter. Mark Bass trained him. Had a very good career, and I'm looking forward to seeing him at stud, as you said.
Yeah, I think he'll be an asset to this country. But we've got a couple of horses that won from Australia. Let's go and have a look at them.
Yeah, here we go. Royal Denise, Mia Forza, Willow Magic was obviously the Group 1 race, but there's a couple of others I see down in Cape Town, another 1-1, so it's looking good for successful Magic Millions graduates.
Well, next week we'll have you and I on there, so that should be fun. We're looking forward to that. I think you know, we're going to take a quick break and go and have a look at something that's racing in America, probably.
What is this? Right, staying with our Equus Awards, and this horse had to get an Equus Award, and I'm talking about another Sylvana. I'm talking about the mighty Heavy Metal, who had won those Group 1s and done so well, James.
Yeah, he's just been a revelation. Well, I think this race alone did more for South African racing as a focal point of South African folk than any other race in the season, because Samanga Kamala winning it, and Madibu wasn't well, and there was lots of talk about maybe we wouldn't even be running the Vodacom Durban July. To get a guy like Samanga Kamala coming out and winning it, And he's going for the title this year, and I can tell you, Simangas Khumalo, I'd be backing him. I think he can win the title. Barring injury, this guy is a very, very good rider.
Yeah, he's a very good rider. He gets about. There's a lot of great jockeys in this country. If they all go for it, it'll make for interesting viewing as they run towards the end of this year. But this was champion middle distance horse. Let's have a look at Heavy Metal.
Pomodora, do you remember White Line Fever, Seal, Cape Town Noir? E-Jet, Lovestruck looks to get going. Jet Explorer on the inside, run for it. Do you remember is running on? Punta Arena, Showgunner, Pomodora. Wiley Hall starts to unwind. Heavy Metal also gets into it late. Absolute Stampede. Jet Explorer the last 100. Heavy Metal gets going. Heavy Metal and run for it. Heavy Metal with his head in front. Heavy Metal won it. Run for it second. Do you remember? No Worries was flying up in the latter stages as they go down to the post.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. Sean Terry and Chris Fanico, back-to-back Vodacom Durban July winners, and young Mr. Khumalo. Well done to him, and well done to all of them. A great win.
Bosworth Farms, you know, you've got to remember Neil and Lith Orford, they've been breeding for many years. And always bred a good, tough, strong horse. Had a couple of stallions that were failures, unfortunately, and that sets a farm back, you know, as they say. You've got to have a top bull
to have a good herd.
Produce a good herd, and they used this horse Silvano on one of their. This is one of their foundation mare families, and this is what they produce. So it shows you these farms can breed horses.
Yeah, of course they can. Let's go on up and have a look at the next one. This was Champion Stayer, and again, Mark Bass, 2 Equus Awards for him because Jeppy's Reef has won it and stayed on best in the Gold Cup.
Yeah, there was a glimpse of form that you could look at when he beat Blake at the same type of weights, and Blake was up there in the top of the betting. But Frad rode a pretty good race on this horse, Robbie Frad, showed why he's an international successful jockey. And Mike Bass, I know he wasn't very confident, but he said that he had fancied this horse last year. It just shows you, every dog has his day, even a mongrel gets a bone.
Yeah, well, here we go. Let's have a look at Jeppy's Reef winning the Gold Cup.
For the lane, Canterbury Tail also gets a lot closer. Si Vous Play a Night to Remember at the 400-meter marker. Showgunner towards the inside, Blake. Canterbury Tail looks to run on. Sage Throne's looking for a gap. Calcutta's on the inside. Jeppy's Reef, Night to Remember. Canterbury Tail, Maasai Warriors running on. But it's Jeppy's Reef, Night to Remember. Jeppy's Reef in front. Jeppy's Reef gonna win it. Jeppy's Reef won it. Seconds close, maybe Canterbury Tail, Maasai Warrior, Night to Remember behind these.
Well done to the Bass team and Drockenstein. You know, they
big
they
players today.
Huge. And one of the guys backed him because he went to Jeppy's high school. Shows you why. And he's a proper professional punter. He knows about punting. He backed him because he went to Jeppy High. It just shows you that he got no education there. Because that wouldn't have told you how to find a winner.
The logic involved. James, there were other winners on the night that we're going to talk about and run through them because they weren't horses. But let's start off with the champion stallion, Silvano Superbio.
Yeah, he just absolutely blew them away. He was the best stallion by a long way, and certainly
main chance, a stallion, and
deserved to get
a great racehorse, turning out to be a super stallion. And I know when you buy Silvano today, you're going to have to pay. He really has produced the goods, whether it be a 2-year-old Alan Robertson or whether it be the Vodacom Durban July. Be with Silvano. Well done to him. The champion broodmare, Akin Feet.
Yeah.
James, this is from Lummerskraal. So well done to Mark and Norma and Sally. It's their mare who won that. And then champion breeder was tight this year.
Very tight, wasn't it?
Yeah. Mickey Goss's Summerhill. I think it's the 9th year in a row, James.
8th or 9th year.
8th or 9th.
Whatever it is, it's a phenomenal achievement from KwaZulu-Natal. They're in the Midlands, you know. I remember when I started in this game, everyone said, can't buy horses from Natal, got no bone, those horses, but...
You've got to get the bone, Barry. You make sure you get those right.
Don't worry. They got the bone, they won the champion award, and they deserve it too, because they've run a phenomenal operation.
Yeah.
And
so James, if I can just interrupt you, is the balance turning?
Well,
Claverflay
big
want
operation.
To win
Yeah,
they're a big operation, a lot of good stallions.
It might help them to advertise on this show.
That's a very good idea. We'll speak with them. We'll speak with them. If they want to swing it, you know what to do. Okay, let's move on. Well done to Samil. Outstanding stallion achievement. Judd Pot, fantastic start.
Yeah, he's probably had the best start of any freshman stallion ever, I think. Had a couple of Group 1 winners.
Yeah.
And he really has had an amazing start. Now, he's an interesting horse because I was talking to Susan about him, you know, and they only own him half with one of those big French families.
Oh, okay. They still got an interest in this.
Yeah, with the Niarchuses. I think the Niarchuses still own the other half of this horse. You know, they bred the horse and raced him. And I'm sure it's the Niarchuses that own the half share in Judd Pot. So, you know, we're getting international involvement through, you know, farms like this farm being an amazing farm. Fastfontein was started by her father, you know. It just...
This is really, really the best that they've come up with. He really is going to be a super stallion.
Well, Caesar, who was a really fantastic
And the front
too.
belongs to Caesar.
Yeah.
That's right. And we've got Dolomiti, our plums by Caesar. But let's move on. Well done to Fastfontein and Judd Pot. International Achievement Breeder Award. Cloverflay Sheshe.
Yeah.
Superb.
Deserved it.
Deserve it. National emblem. And don't forget, as James spoke about earlier, he runs this weekend, I think, James, is it?
Nunthorpe on Saturday.
The Nunthorpe on Saturday. Look out for Michael de Kock Sheshe and the owner. And they'll all be there. He travels the world, the owner. It's Mr. Joffe.
Yeah,
he was.
Brian will be there.
Brian will be there.
Fantastic for him. At least he doesn't have to put on a top hat because
he was dickied up to the nines in Dubai when he had that win.
Yeah, but
him and his mates.
not to the tens.
No, not he can't go to the He's not a 10. He's not a 10.
Had to go to England to get dickied up to the tens.
That's right. Yeah. All right, so well done to them. And then the Media Award. I think this is a great for David Thistleton. He's a man who pounds the beat.
Yeah, he gets out there and works at it. You know, he's a very quiet, sort of unassuming guy. But until you get him on the golf course, he becomes he's violent.
A couple of beers and that's brilliant.
He's
a passionate man.
Yeah, he's fine when he's writing about racing, but don't get him on the golf course. This guy's a bit of
James, it's a wonderful award because he's really he comes up to Summerfeld and he quotes you directly. Yeah. If you say something to him, it comes out. And it's a great achievement from him. Then the Media Award, television, Jimmy Lithgow. He's been he's Shakespearean trained. Statesman. Yeah, that's right. He was in that movie. What was the movie called? He was the Prime Minister of New Zealand. Oh, yeah. He had one line to say in the movie. Can you remember it?
That was the movie about the '95 World Cup, wasn't it?
Yes. The name escapes me, but he had one line to say.
Yeah.
And it was...
All your sheep for all our gold.
Yeah, all your gold for all our sheep. Jimmy's line. Well done, Jimmy. He's an actor and he's a good mate. You deserve the award, Jimmy. Apprentice of the Year, Naresh Jaglal.
Fantastic little rider, Naresh Jaglal. I think that Ferraris saw the old man Ferraris Ormond saw the ability, latched onto him, and he's a very good little rider.
Champion jockey, Pierre Stratum. They got him out of bed when they put a Cloverflay 250,000.
They only got him out of bed to ride in races still, but apparently he did arrive at work a couple of times.
We don't need the rain.
He is so damn good, that guy.
Oh, he's some jockey, isn't he?
Yeah, he is some jockey. We showed him earlier today on that when he won on that grey horse of
Malachite.
Hans of Penrensburg, Johannes. My goodness.
Yeah, I don't think there's a man who's involved in racing who doesn't admire Pierre Stratum.
But as your famous saying, you'd rather hug a leopard than hug the rail. That stands, and he's still so good. You know?
He's just a genius on a horse. You know, we're very, very fortunate to have so many great riders. They've proved it over the world, and Pierre Stratum has taken this title away from Arthur Marcus. We know he'll be back. And you go back through the years, the guys who have won it, from Andrew Fortune, the great character, Anthony Delpeche, MJ Ordendal. We've had Michael Roberts. You go through it, some great riders.
Michael Roberts 11 times.
Yeah,
South African champion jockey.
He started when he was a lappy.
And British champion jockey. I haven't seen anyone do that again.
So well
Champion
done
trainer?
to Pierre Stradom. Champion trainer Michael de Kock, pushed all the way by Sean Terry. Well done to Sean Terry and his team. They really made it interesting.
Yeah, and he'll get his day in the sun, there's no doubt about that. But I think it irked Sean not to be able to win the title because it's very hard to beat Mike de Kock.
Very hard to beat. Owners of the year, Ingrid and Marcus Ewerster. Well done to them. They've got horses all over the place now. They're having a lot of success. They've got the Horse of the Year. And I'm very pleased that their Horse of the Year is going to go and campaign, as we said earlier, overseas. And that comes to the last award, James. Horse of the Year, Variety Club.
Yeah.
Very
Well,
good.
I think he deserved it.
Yeah, so do I.
Won more Group 1s than anyone else. He's the best miler I've seen for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
He just is a very, very good horse. And he deserved to be the Horse of the Year in South Africa. And well done to them. Well done to all those that are concerned with the horse. And Joey Ramsden plotted his career beautifully.
Beautifully. Done a wonderful job with him.
Joey Ramsden, I'm worried about him. He's got quite a big winter coat.
Joey, has he?
Yeah, yeah.
I haven't seen
I
him
saw him
actually.
at the sales. I didn't recognize him.
What's
I
he-
said,
has he
you're not
grown a-
wintering very well.
Has he grown a Lafferty?
No, just
No,
the winter
just
coat,
his,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Well done to him with Variety
no
Club.
one can grow a Lafferty. No one would be stupid enough to try and do that.
James, that's the lot. Those are the awards. So.
Yeah, and it was a fantastic year's racing. We look forward to this year with much anticipation. And from Laff and me on Winning Ways, you have a great week's racing.
Second position, but Military goes and giving them a bath. That's one of the biggest millions I've ever seen. Graceful Anna, the leader. Graceful Anna. Graceful Anna.